What is the role of media in globalization? The role of media in globalization today are seen as playing a key role in enhancing globalization and facilitating cultural exchange and multiple flows of information and images between countries through international news, broadcasts, television programming, new technologies, film, and music. If before 1990s mainstream media system in most countries of the world were relatively national in scope, since then most communications media have become increasingly global, extending their reach beyond the nation state to conquer audiences worldwide. International flows of information have been assisted by the development of global capitalism, new technologies, and the increasing commercialization of global television, which has occurred as a consequence of the deregulation policies adopted by various countries in Europe and the United States in order to permit the proliferation of cable and satellite channels. Globalization theories have discussed how the cultural dimension of globalization has exercised a profound impact on the whole globalization process. That's all.
The rapid expansion of global communications in the 21st century can be tracked back to the mechanical advancements of technologies during the course of the 18th and 19th centuries, which started mainly with the invention of the telegraph in 1837 and especially included the growth in postal services, cross-border telephone and radio communications, and the creation of modern mass circulation press in Europe. It was, however, the evaluation of technologies capable of transmitting messages via electromagnetic waves that marked a turning point in advancing the globalization of communications, the emergence of international news agencies in the 19th century, such as Reuters, paved the way for the beginnings of a global system of codification. It was not until the 1960s, with the launch of the first geocentric communication satellites, that communication by electromagnetic transmission became fully global, thus making the globalization of communications a distinctive phenomenon of 20th century. That's all. Thank you.
So I'm Robert Alan Pagara. I'm here to discuss about the pros and cons of media globalization. So let's start with pros of media globalization. So advantage of media globalization includes that it allows information to be dispersed quickly and that it allows people to learn about cultures other than their own. So it means that ang media globalization is ang information daw dito is dali ra daw mokatag. So ang mga tao bisag naras sila sa balay is makaton sila. For example is kuan bisag magtanaw ra sa TV or kuan sa through social media ra makaton sila na nga kuan because dali ram daw mokatag ang information sa media globalization. So ano sa sa kuan cons. So cons of media includes that it can result in the spread of misinformation in and the development of bad values. So napoy disadvantage ang kuan media globalization kuan anang mga for example is kanang dili man tanan kuan information nga makuha sa kuan social media is correct o di pud nimo mibuan nga sakto or siya or sayop nga information imo makuha. So for example is mga fake news nga information bis sa makita sa tao kung kana ra lang makita is ila dayon na i-share mao pud na maka-disadvantage sa kuan media globalization. So that's all.
Is there globalization without media? Um, there would be no globalization without media. It is because that media globalization has aided in both the production and distribution of information. So it will be invaluable to students in international media, cultural studies, communications, and international relations. The reality is media has brought a revolutionary change in everyone's life, whether it is in a positive way or in a negative sense. But the truth is, it has brought comfort in our lives in all aspects. In today's generations, in today's generation, media plays a key part in expansion of globalization prepare. The media components such as TV, web, computers, etc. are considered to have a fundamental impact on globalization. Two scenes of globalization handle nowadays, there's an expanded get to a wide run of media which plays a really critical part in forming human minds and has a monstrous effect on our societies, individual lives. Hence, these two similarly imperative forms interact with each other and give common help within the development of the circle of impact.
Is there a globalization without media? Mm, there is no globalization without media. Why? Globalization is a result of media and migration. It is not a simple one-way process. Furthermore, globalization has changed the world in both goods and bad ways. So, for example, it has increased interconnectivity between people across the world with the help of media and communication. One way argue that a major consequence of globalization is that eliminates face-to-face interaction in a context two-way of flow of information and is dialogical in character. So because of media, they connect into another places or entire world. So that's why it is important that globalization connects media.
Hi, I'm Lowell German Menendez. I'm about to report, is media globalization a form of cultural imperialism? So, for my own understanding, if media globalization a form of cultural imperialism, for me it is not a form of cultural imperialism because media globalization speaks about the technology we are using, like TV, smartphones, where we can see our news and updates about what's going on in our world. Then cultural imperialism talks about how nation could conquer a land to obtain its economy and resources. As time passes, technology develop and it make easy worldwide movements toward economic, financial, trade, and communication integration, which is called globalization. So, globalization paradigm started with a good purposes. It was to unify the world and to share and understand each other cultures, it turns out globalization paradigm had a lot of flaw, and these flaws are described as cultural imperialism. That's all.
Using Beltran's definition of cultural imperialism is a process of a social influence by which a nation imposes on other countries. It is a set beliefs, values, knowledge, and behavioral norms, as well as it is overall style of life. Cultural imperialism has not died out and that American products were killing other cultures. Also a quote from George Ritzer, American will become everyone's second culture. As well, all become citizens of a McDonaldized planet. McDonald's is one of the world's leading fast food chain service retailers and it is located in more than 100 countries with more than 36,000 restaurants that we can see all around the world.